I'm Lynn Tepper, a retired circuit judge from the 6th Judicial Circuit. In 2005, after 16 years of handling substance abuse cases in virtually every circuit court division, I created a deep-end drug court. Surely, if we stop repeatedly sending folks to prison for drugs and instead offer them some meaningful substance abuse and mental health services, encouragement from the bench, we can stop the revolving prison door. Each extensive mental health and substance abuse assessment revealed a common thread in these cases. Regardless of gender, race, or ethnicity, most of them started using drugs and alcohol by the age of 10 or 11. I failed at the time to understand why they started using at such a young age. No one was teaching judges about ACEs, the 1998 Adverse Childhood Experiences study, co-investigated by the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. This seminal study measured 10 types of childhood trauma. 5 are personal: physical, verbal, sexual abuse, physical and emotional neglect. 5 are related to other family members: a parent who's an alcoholic, a mother who's a victim of domestic violence, or a family member diagnosed with a mental illness, and of course the disappearance of a parent through divorce, death, or abandonment. The ACEs study revealed a common thread of the impact of childhood trauma, that it leads to a multitude of societal problems. As a result, we often end up trying to treat someone's solution to the trauma. I have seen this in the children and their parents who appeared in my court during my 30 years as a circuit judge. I just did not know what I know now. I failed to see through a trauma lens. I was too quick to point out their deficiencies without recognizing they were the culmination of what was done to them. Now, seeing these parents in court, I realize they were children once too. We must recognize that trauma, child development, and outcomes are inextricably linked. We as judges must study and embrace the cutting-edge family court toolkit, Trauma and Child Development. It's found at flcourts.org. In addition to top national trauma resources, there are interactive links throughout, including scripts. The Big 10 practical tips should be a primary focus for you. 1, understand trauma and child development. 2, presume trauma. 3, coordinate all cases involving one family. 4, set an expectation for trauma and child development information. 5, read the file with a trauma lens. 6, order screening, assessment, and treatment. 7, hold all accountable. 8, be a convener, which means that you bring community partners together to address trauma and advocate for evidence-based treatment. Judges have influence and authority and are able to call people together and facilitate collaboration. 9, monitor the data. 10, take care of yourself. If we presume trauma impacted all of the adults, whether defendants or parent, the children, and even the infants with whom we come in contact, we have the ability to change generations by understanding what science teaches us about trauma and the impact of adverse childhood experiences. We have the ability as a judge and convener within our community to both heal trauma and prevent it. It is never too late to heal. It's never too late to ask, what happened to you? Or what can I do to help? Intervening before there are any ACEs is best, but doing nothing other than burying or imprisoning or terminating their parental rights or involuntarily committing them is not an option. Remember that encouragement and kindness are as essential as active listening. How we speak to children and adults is as important as what we say. Those who appear before us have a right to have a present and a future not dominated by their past childhood trauma. I have seen the trajectory of children and parents change with a trauma-informed approach. Once you see through a trauma lens, you will never see the individuals who appear before you the same. It will make your job as a judge not just important, but part of the paradigm shift. Put on those trauma lenses.